Alright, today let's have a look at Super Mario Sunshine. This, of course, was the official Mario game for the GameCube, and it has often had the honor of being considered one of the worst Mario games. Yeah, people don't seem to like this one very much. Now, obviously, I played this all the way back in the day, but even I'll admit that after completing it for the first time, I really didn't come back to it a lot. In fact, it took me over a decade before I played it through a second time. So, what is it about Sunshine that makes people dislike it so much? Without going into every possible thing, I'll just kick this review off by covering the things people generally seem to dislike about this game, which are its gameplay, its setting, and the fact that it's the only Mario game to have extensive voiced cutscenes. The first two of these I can sort of understand, but not the third. I mean, there's like, what, 4 cutscenes in total in the whole game? 5 if you count the intro that you can skip? And it's not like the voice acting is bad either. I mean, it's a Mario game. You can't really ruin it with voice acting. This isn't really obnoxious or anything. The storyline is whatever. It's a Mario game. You save the princess, that's really all you have to know. And Bowser Jr. isn't really Peach and Bowser's love child. Now, the setting is another thing people criticize this game for, and yeah, I kinda get why. The game is supposed to take place on a tropical resort island, which does sadly lead to a lack of level variety. There's no ice levels, for instance. There's one lava level towards the end of the game. There are a couple of underwater levels, surprisingly not that many where you actually swim. Now, you have to understand that Sunshine was kind of following a trend of 6th generation consoles. At launch, they all kind of went through this tropical phase, and I think it was just the console manufacturers flexing on how they could do realistic water and shading effects now. I don't actually hate the setting. Most of the levels are actually fun in my view, though Rico Harbor does have a few missions that get on my nerves. But Gelato Beach and Pianta Village are actually both some of my favorite Mario levels, ever. However, let's now talk about the gameplay, and yes, here even I'll admit Nintendo dropped the ball a bit. Now, I'm not talking about FLUDD, since the controls on it actually work fine. It's clear FLUDD was the focus of the game. The problem is actually Mario's normal walking controls. Comparing this directly to its predecessor, Mario 64, I just noticed how there's no gradual build-up to Mario's run, meaning it's really difficult to move him precisely. This isn't a big problem when it's just running around, but almost all the platforming sections are instantly a lot harder, because Mario moves a bit awkwardly. You can't make him tiptoe as easily as in 64, or you need to press the analog stick really gently. Camera is also not great. The problem here is that it moves too far away from you a little too easily. In certain locations like Pinup Park, this means you'll easily zoom out too much and actually have level elements blocking your view of Mario. Now, I don't think Mario 64 had the best camera either, but I don't remember it ever going too far for me to see my character. The main problem I have with the controls is that they don't feel as tight as Mario 64. Mario's wall jump feels like it doesn't work half the time, although I do like that Mario now actually grabs the wall, kinda like Mega Man X. You can still do the backflip, but there's no long jump, which would be a real help in a few of the secret levels. The secret levels are the mini areas where you need to get to the shine without using FLUDD. Back in the day, these were probably my favorite levels because they reminded me so much of Mario 64, but a few of these are pretty sadistic, particularly this wooden block one. I can never make this jump on my first try. But remembering these problems, the game itself isn't actually very hard. The problem I have with it is that you have to get the 7 shines from every level before you can go on to the final part of the game. This is what I really hated about this and all subsequent 3D Mario games. Again, in Mario 64, though you had star quotas, you could basically get most of the stars in whatever order you liked. You didn't have to necessarily do the star that was asked of you. Later games like the Mario Galaxies alleviated this by going back to having quotas and allowing you to play multiple levels, but none of them allowed you to get whatever stars you wanted. Now, what this means is that if there's a shine that's giving you trouble in Sunshine, you're shit out of luck. You can go complete another level, but you can't beat the game until you've beaten all the Shadow Mario levels, which are always the penultimate shine in each level. And that's probably why I couldn't be bothered to beat Mario Sunshine for a second time for nearly a decade. Because I need to stress, the graphics and music are top notch, and though I complained about the gameplay, I actually do like playing the game. The problem is really that you have no real freedom. If anything, I think Nintendo really wanted to cater to the collectathon crowd, because there sure is a lot of pointless crap for you to collect in this game. But is it the worst Mario game? Of course not, that's Mario Lost Levels. But it is definitely a slightly incomplete game where Nintendo didn't maybe put enough effort into playtesting certain areas. And while most of the levels are fun, it can start to also feel like a little bit of a chore to play, which is never a good thing, and which is also probably the reason why it's not one of my favorite Mario games either. But that's the review. Let me know, what do you think of Super Mario Sunshine? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you a bit indifferent about it? Whatever. Just drop it in the comments. I'm TheHande back again. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.